Hi, I'm Lauryn and today I'd like to talk to you a bit about bridges. So let's go. The earliest bridges used by humans to cross rivers were most likely fallen trees used as beam bridges. A beam bridge is made up of horizontal members simply supported at each end. Beam bridges are limited in how far they can span, as longer spans need very large, very heavy beams to limit the amount of bending and deflecting in the middle. To counter this effect, a more efficient construction was truss bridges. One of the oldest types of modern bridges, truss bridges are formed from a top and bottom cord with lots of internal members acting in tension and compression. Tension forces are pulling, stretching forces, so if you sit on a swing, the ropes are in tension, and compression forces are pushing or squashing forces, so if you sit on a chair, the chair legs are in compression. Truss bridges are much more economical and efficient when compared with beam bridges of a similar length. Our next type of bridge is Masonry arch bridges. In Scotland, we have a lot of beautiful masonry arch bridges, including Cantilever Bridge, which is one of the oldest standing bridges in Scotland. The oldest part of Cantilever Bridge is the Gothic arch on the left, which dates back to the 15th century. Masonry arches act in compression with the arch barrel transferring loads down to the ground below. Arches are limited in how far they can span, but many masonry arches like this one have multiple spans to cross larger rivers. Another type of arch bridge is the bowstring arch. Unlike the masonry arch, which is solid, a bowstring arch has an open spandrel. The other main difference is that the arch is above the deck instead of underneath it. But a bowstring arch still acts in compression, with loads distributed through the arch to the foundations. The small vertical hangers supporting the deck are in tension, and they transfer loads up to the arch. Another bridge that uses vertical hangers is suspension bridge. Suspension bridges have tall towers in compression with suspension cables that run between the towers and are anchored down to the foundations at each end of the bridge. The suspension cable and the vertical hangers are all in tension and distribute loads up to the towers. A famous example of a suspension bridge is the Forth Road Bridge. And our next bridge type can be found right next to the Forth Road Bridge, which is the cable-stayed bridge. Cable-stayed bridges may look similar to suspension bridges at first glance, but instead of suspension cables and hangers, they have individual cables connecting the tall towers to different points on the deck. The new Queensferry crossing is a famous example of a cable-stayed bridge. And last, but by no means least, our final bridge type is cantilever bridges. No talk about bridges would be complete without mentioning the beautiful and iconic Forth Bridge. A fairly uncommon bridge type, cantilever bridges have large piers and cantilever arms supported at one end, a bit like a diving board. Between the ends of the two adjacent cantilevers is a small connecting piece for the deck to pass over. That's all we have time for today. Thanks for watching.